Hi everyone, welcome to My Green Closet. So I have been extensively testing some more sustainable pairs of tights from Sheertex, Cloeco, and Swedish Stockings. So we are going to do a thorough review of durability, cost, fit, comfort, and sustainability. I'm going to let you know the pros and cons and which are worth investing in. So first, let's do Sheertex because I get the most questions about them. Now, Sheertex's big selling feature is they claim to have the strongest and most durable tights. And while they're not made from sustainable materials, the sustainability aspect is that these can potentially save a lot of waste and that one pair of Sheertex can replace multiple pairs of tights. Now, Sheertex are a lot more expensive. The basic styles are around 60 to 70 US dollars or 80 to 90 Canadian per pair. So the big question for me was, do they actually live up to the durability claims and are they worth the price? Size and fit-wise, Sheertex are a little less stretchy than conventional tights, so you do want to be more precise with the fit. They also size by weight, which I really don't like, and I don't think it's the most accurate because we, of course, all carry our weight differently. So if you carry your weight more in your thighs, hips, and bum, you might be better off sizing up, especially if you're at the higher end of the size. Sheertex's size range are extra small to 3X. I got a size medium, however, I am at the higher end of the range, and I think a large would actually have fit me better because I do get some crotch sagging with these, which can be a sign that they're too small. I just got their regular sheer style, but they also have ones with shaping shorts and a few different styles, colors, and designs. So now the big question, are they as durable as they claim? I would say yes, but with a little caveat. First of all, I am actually usually not very hard on my tights and generally try to be careful with them. So when testing the Sheertex tights, I went out of my way to be careless and do things like wear really snaggy rings while putting them on and letting our foster kittens that we had for a while sit on my lap, and they held up amazing and I've never had any runs with them. However, they do still snag and it can make little holes like this. It's not a full hole, and I'm curious if I can somehow fix it, but it's definitely a snag. Now, Sheertex says that you can massage the area to help get rid of snags, and this definitely does help. Some of the snags I got completely disappeared, but others didn't, and there were still these little lines or small holes. These ones here were the result of a ring catching, not very noticeable from far away, but it's still a permanent mark on the tights. So overall, are these very durable? Yes, they definitely are. I snagged them many times and they never ran and are still wearable. Do they look pristine though? No, I've owned them almost 2 years and worn them maybe around 20 to 25 times, and there are noticeable lines, little spots, and general marks of use and wear. Regarding Sheertex's options available, they do have some different styles, but not a huge selection, but there are kind of your classic black and then a few more fun options. So ultimately, whether Sheertex is the right choice for you and worth the cost is going to depend on what you need. So specifically, how quickly you typically damage tights and if you're prone to snagging them often. Now, Sheertex also has some good sales throughout the year, so if you think you'd benefit from very durable tights, but the price point is too high, wait for a sale. Now, the actual sustainability of Sheertex is very hard to compare because their material is proprietary. There is almost no information about it. All they say is it's the same polymer used in bulletproof vests and mountaineering equipment. So we just know that it's some type of synthetic material. They claim that their tights last about 10 times longer than regular tights, and if that is true, then there definitely is a sustainability argument there. But because there's such a big lack of information, we don't really know what the sustainability is like, so I'm going to assume that the tights are just not very sustainable. So then, ethics-wise, their tights are made in Canada, which is great. However, transparency is lacking. All it says on their website is that they are responsibly made, so no further info, we just have to take their word. So my final verdict is if you are someone who goes through a lot of tights and gets a lot of runs and also maybe doesn't mind a few small marks and lines, then I do think Sheertex can be a more sustainable choice to reduce waste, and you can get a good cost per wear from them. But if, like me, you aren't really that hard on your tights and you don't go through tons of them, then I think there are some better options, which we'll get into. So next up is Cloeco, which was formerly called Cloeco. I was very interested in trying these because they are 71% tencel and 29% nylon and spandex. So that's a pretty decent percent of cellulose fiber while still looking like a classic tight. They only have two styles though, one that comes with an attached short called the Ever Tight and one that doesn't, which they call the Revo Tight. I went with the built-in short Ever Tight, but I would be interested in trying the other style as well because while I like the idea of the short, I'm not the biggest fan of the waistband. So Cloeco's size range is extra small to XL, so unfortunately very limited. And these also do run small, and they also suggest sizing up on their website. I could definitely have gone with a larger size, especially since I've gained weight since first receiving these almost 2 years ago now. These are for sure too small, but here they are when I first got them. So the shorts are supposed to help with sagging, and I think they do. However, because of the waistband, you also don't get as smooth of a top. Now, an important thing to note about these tights is they are different from typical synthetic tights. So don't expect a dupe. They feel less smooth and slippery and have more texture, but are also softer. To me, they feel like a winter tight, but they claim that because of the tencel, they are both warmer in winter and cooler in summer. The natural fiber content also means that the tights are more absorbent and moisture wicking, and they claim to be more resistant to bacterial growth. Anecdotally, I think this is true. I always find synthetics to be way more prone to holding odor, including tights, especially if you're wearing like boots all day. I didn't do like a direct comparison or test, but these overall, I would say, felt less kind of clammy and smelly after wearing all day. They also visually have more texture to them, which I like, but I know some people also may not. It's definitely a personal preference style-wise. Now, regarding durability, I didn't have any issues with these snagging or running with my normal use. They claim they'll last about 30 to 40 wears, especially if you follow their care instructions. And I've probably worn these just under 20 times so far. So that estimate seems accurate to me. And while I didn't go out of my way to try and snag them like the Sheertex, they do seem more durable than the average tight. And even after many wears, they still look virtually the same. Price-wise, these are about 25 to 32 US dollars for a pair, so about half the cost of Sheertex, and also the most affordable tight I'm reviewing today. However, I do want to clarify that I think Cloeco and Sheertex make very different products for different people, so it's not really a direct comparison. I think Cloeco is a good choice for anyone who wants some natural fiber content, especially if you find nylons itchy or just don't like wearing synthetics but still want a classic tight, and also for anyone who likes the slightly textured appearance or at least doesn't mind it. Overall, I think the Tencel blend is actually very comfortable as a tight, but as with anything, the natural fiber content comes with some pros and cons to weigh. Sustainability-wise, Tencel is definitely better than virgin nylon, but the tights still have a significant synthetic content as well. Cloeco also doesn't have any information on their website about how and where their tights are made, which is very disappointing. So my final verdict is I think they're worth trying if you are specifically looking for tights with some more natural fiber content. So then next up we have Swedish Stockings, and after trying out these different tights, Swedish Stockings are my favorite. Sustainability-wise, they are definitely doing the most. They use various recycled materials, have low impact and low waste manufacturing, and also have a take-back recycling program where they will upcycle nylons from any brand. So if you have any old ripped tights, send them in for recycling. Their products are also all Oeko-Tex certified, which means no toxic and harmful substances are used, and I will link a post down below if you want to learn more about what the Oeko-Tex certification means. Style-wise, Swedish Stockings also has the largest variety with both classic styles in a few different thicknesses and opacities to many different colors, prints, patterns, and designs. So if you are looking for fun fashion tights, they have a ton of options. And if you're looking for natural fibers, they also have a few cotton and wool blends. Their size range is extra small to XXL, so unfortunately not the most inclusive, and that definitely is an area they can improve. So I've owned both a regular pair of tights and a pair of their maternity tights. I did feel like their sizing was accurate and the fit was good and comfortable for the regular tights. The maternity tights I had some more fit issues with though, where it felt like the back and bum was kind of pulling down, but not sure if that was a design issue or I maybe needed to size up. So now for the durability, I've owned a pair of Swedish Stockings for over 3 years and have never had any issues, although I haven't been wearing them in the last year or so because they no longer fit well. So with the pair of maternity tights I got, I never had any sagging or runs, but since they no longer fit and you can't really pass on secondhand tights, I decided to do something similar to the Sheertex. I purposely wore snaggy rings and was careless with them to test their durability. So this ring is very snaggy. It's got all these tiny little rough pieces, and I tried quite hard to catch it and actually make it run. And it did snag quite a bit. Like there's a lot of little marks here, and this one actually pulled up a bit of thread, but nothing has actually created a hole. So similar to the Sheertex, it kind of pulled it up. See there how there's a hole, but it's still connected. Like I don't think it's actually gonna run. Their tights are all made in Italy and they have info about their sustainability initiatives and ways their factories reduce emissions. I do wish that they had a little more info about wages specifically. However, Swedish Stockings has way more transparency on their manufacturing ethics and code of conduct than the other brands, so they definitely get credit for that. Swedish Stockings also now has many retailers in different countries, so they're a lot easier to get in North America and outside of Europe. For price, they are mostly in the $30 to $40 range with some more premium options as well. So they are cheaper than Sheertex, but still a significant investment compared to your average tight. Are they worth the price? I do think so. Swedish Stockings take sustainability seriously, and I love that they are trying to make a traditionally very wasteful product more circular, and you also are getting a better quality product. Is it for sure gonna last 3 or 4 times as long as a $10 fast fashion tights? That's really hard to say, but you are definitely supporting a better business and getting a well-made, more sustainable product. Now, with any tights, proper care is really important for increasing the longevity of them. So hand washing or using a delicate bag and cold water, always hanging them to dry. And then when putting them on, quickly feel your nails beforehand for any rough spots to make sure those are filed smooth, and take off any jewelry that's likely to snag. Also, something that I learned is that you're not supposed to kind of pick and pull at tights if you need to adjust the fit. The best thing to do is to kind of scrunch the leg down and pull it back up. Now, accidents and snags of course happen, but taking a little extra time to put them on carefully and wash them properly can for sure help the longevity of your tights. And as with any clothing item, increasing the longevity and amount of wear you can get makes it more sustainable. So I hope this deep dive review was helpful, and please let me know in the comments if you have tried any of these tights and what your experience was like, or if there are any other more sustainable tights you'd recommend trying out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.